welcome back. This is episode 27 of Rhinestone.
Rhinestoned. Hey, sis.
Hey sis, missed you.
Miss
Man,
you.
we struggled these last week. Was it 2 weeks? I think it was 2 weeks. Life be lifing, okay? And summer be summering.
Summer has
And
been summering,
and we've
is the
got
real tea.
we've got a lot of things happening in our personal lives and that's okay. We're back. We're
We're
back.
back, baby.
Back.
We're so back.
We are back.
We are back.
Um, it's been an interesting 2 weeks though. I, I, I've been wanting to talk to you about it because I very unexpectedly went to Atlantic City this past weekend,
Oh my God.
on a whim. I was fully a victim of FOMO. I saw a lot of friends, a lot of people in my feed that were like at the beach or, and I
Yeah,
was like, you know what? I have been in the city every weekend this
yeah,
summer. I'm
yeah,
losing my mind. I need to get out.
yeah.
So last minute trip to AC, of course, get there and start doing my normal, what's happening? What are the events? What's going on? And I see that Shakira is performing like
That's where you saw Shakira?
in Atlantic City. Like I was stunned. I'm still stunned. I told a friend about this last night and he was like, I don't understand. Like I still don't
Oh
understand
my God.
why she would be performing in a venue like this. Like the venue was max 14,000 people. Like I fully believe that she like had to have been doing this for her fans. I have to look into it and see. I'm sure there is probably more details about this, but like
Is she on tour?
so this was actually the last stop of her North American tour, which she talked about.
Okay.
She's getting ready to now go to the international tour. And I had seen some article that said for the last few stops she was doing smaller stadiums, but like I want to know if there's a deeper reason behind it because we had really good seats and our seats were like $200 each, which really is nothing for really good seats these days. Like, and especially for someone like Shakira. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
A generational artist.
I am convinced this had to be something she was doing as a gift to her fans. The concert was sort of couched as like her current concert World Cup edition. Okay. So there
Cute.
was like a whole segment towards the end where she did all of her World Cup songs, which was so, so good. But I just have to say, Rhinestoners, like, I'm a little bit ashamed that she was not higher on my list of people that I wanted to see because we've always followed her music. I
I
mean, like, I
love
think
Shakira.
especially when she started to really break out in a big way into the English market, we've been fans, I would say, of those albums, those songs. And I just never really thought that much like, oh, I'm gonna, or I never even felt like I heard really when she was touring. I'm a little bit ashamed because I mean, wow.
You
What a
know,
performance she put on. And she's 50. It's
yeah.
insane. The way
I
she was
also
moving, the way she was singing.
I also
Incredible.
think Shakira doesn't get like enough to your point about the music itself because you clipped She-Wolf. And
Yes.
so it made me kind of go back into the catalog a little bit because I was like, oh, I want to see what do I remember out of this? Don't Bother, that song. She actually, I don't know if she writes her own music. I should check before I give her credit. But anyway, it's like that's a great song.
Such
Like
a good song.
Don't Bother has bars. Like there's a lot of great like lyricism and melodies in her music. She-Wolf was so weird,
She Wolf
but
was the
cool.
was the encore, okay? And they
Yeah.
literally lit up this giant inflatable wolf onto the stage.
How
And then we
cute.
just waited for her to come back out.
Oh, that's so fun.
it was
No,
honestly
I
incredible.
literally was like, okay, so she went to Atlantic City and then rushed home for these
No.
pre-bought.
No. I mean, even just like getting to the venue was such a unique experience. You had to line up on the boardwalk. There was a massive line to
Oh
get
my
in.
God, how fun!
It did move fast, but you
Wonderful.
literally like we had to walk all the way to the end of the line on the boardwalk. So you're seeing everyone dressed up. You're seeing all the different combinations of people,
What'd you
friends,
wear?
family. I wore it like so. Actually, I was pretty proud of myself with that because I had this one dress I was thinking to wear. My boyfriend wanted me to wear this other one. I tried on the other one. He agreed it was like no, no. So I went back to the first one. It's basically this dress I got from Zara. It's like gray, kind of like polyester material, whatever, spaghetti strap dress.
Hmm.
But then in the front, it has like a silver kind of like sliver of like, that chainmail meshy
Yes.
fabric. Okay.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't like totally Shakira, but I think it's like still Shakira vibes, okay?
Hmm.
She came out in a look that was that material, the entire look, okay? In a pink ombre vibe though,
Oh, cute.
okay? With a little skirt and a little halter top. And I
Cute.
was like, I'm fine. I'm
You
literally
channeled
we're in
her.
the same fabric.
You
Like
channeled her exactly.
it's all
Oh
good.
my God, I love it. That is so
It
awesome.
was an incredible, incredible performance. She sort of hinted a little bit at, her lost love, Gerard Piqué. And you're just like sitting there watching it thinking, like, what a piece of shit. I mean, like,
Mm,
who would cheat on this woman? The men in
mm,
the audience were losing their minds. I don't think I've ever been at a concert actually for a pop star where the men are kind of responding the way they are. That was very interesting, like, and just cool to kind of see like how into it they were. Um, but yeah, icon.
Well, she
You
was
get
like
the
a rock
chance to
star
see her.
first. You know what I
Well, and
mean? Like
not
she
only
was a
that, like
guitar playing rock star.
to that point too, I mean, I don't want to spoil it, but I really think if you get the chance to go, people need to go see her because she played the drums, she played
Yeah,
the guitar, we got the all of her different belly dancing that she does, we got the knife dancing too that she does, like she did
really
it
cool.
all. So
That's
it
really
was
cool.
definitely a very unique
Yeah,
experience.
like whatever happened to being an entertainer?
I mean, that's what it made me like. I actually said that to my boyfriend at one point. I was like, the thing that I took away from it the most, and she even like she said this at the beginning of the show. She spoke to the crowd about it being the last leg of the tour and, where she was at in her headspace and all of that. And at the end of it, she goes, I'm gonna give you guys the best show I can give you.
That's
And
exactly right.
you felt that from every second. Like you really truly felt that she was excited to be there, that she
Yes.
was excited to go through this show, and it was like, let's go. And from that
Yes.
moment on, nothing about her energy or anything let up. And like they had the cameras obviously so closely focused on her. She's just so stunning.
I
Like,
know.
we don't give enough credit sometimes to like with pop stars, it yes, it's the singing, yes, it's the dancing, but it's also like the smaller things too. It's like, what are you doing with your face?
It's the
Okay. Like
expectation.
Shakira's facial movements, as she's so good, she knows exactly what she's doing. It's like she almost has face choreography happening at the same
Of
time as all the dance.
course.
It's like
Of
really
course.
just truly, I honestly, I cannot say enough. I was blown away.
This
Absolutely.
is why I will say, and I know people love to hate on Gwen Stefani because, like, politics, I don't even know. But this is why I will continue to give that woman my money because she comes and she gives everything and she leaves it out on the stage and
That's
it's
what you
all
want.
there and it's real music. It's people playing instruments. It's her singing. It's just like there, you
Yeah.
know? There is sweat when she
Yes.
leaves.
Exactly.
Love that.
Exactly.
Love that.
One thing that was also very cool that I feel like I've seen it maybe like in documentaries. I don't know if I've ever seen this done in a lot. Well, maybe Taylor Swift has probably done things like this, but yeah, I think she has. But it was cool seeing Shakira do it. One of the songs she had gone backstage to obviously change for the next one, or that so we thought, and the song actually started up backstage with the camera on her going through the change.
Cute. I
It
love
was
it.
super cute. So we thought we saw things like the camera panning down and her
Yep.
falling on the floor and then picks back up and then we're in the room again, and then
Yep.
eventually when she was ready, we see her start to go under the stage. Like I was like, that was a very kind of like just clever, fun moment to be like, oh, we're getting taken back behind the stage to see what's happening. So that was pretty cool.
You know what I was thinking about? We should do this is a total tangent, rhinestoners, so I'll make it quick because it's more interpersonal. But I was thinking about, like, I bet you there are so many concerts that mom and dad have gone to. You know, it would just be fun to start collecting their memories on some of that stuff. You know,
Oh
like,
yeah, that's a good
what
idea
did you go to? What do you remember from
about
it?
it.
Yeah, just so we have that sort of like, I don't
No,
know.
it's true because like I mean, I think we've always bonded over live music in that way. I enjoy it so
Yeah.
much. I think like obviously it's not something at that scale that I get to do multiple times a year, I would say, because of costs, right?
Well, this is the thing. To your point
But
about the $200 ticket.
I've been thinking about it and like, yeah, even like one thought I was having the other day that you can help me out with is I really want I don't have the space for something like this now, but probably like, when I'm in a bigger space.
Yeah,
I
of
want to do something cool with all my concert t-shirts
course you do.
because I kind of feel like some of them I do wear, some of them I don't. And I was
Yeah.
thinking, like, wouldn't it be so cool if I could kind of like patchwork them into like a wall hanging?
Okay.
Well, so, just sticking in the music world for a bit before we transition to our Bravo, I will say I was really, really sad this morning because I woke up and like I had not seen that Glenn Hansard passed away,
So
which I
sad.
realize might be a little bit of a deep cut for people, but if you're a millennial, you probably remember the movie once, years and years and years ago, and the song Falling Slowly, which I think at the time like had won so many awards. Like,
Oh
remember
my God.
like I
Oh
think
my
that
God.
year they performed that song on almost every award show, if
What
I
was the
remember.
only movie we were talking about?
It was everywhere. I mean, that song today still like it comes on the radio and I'm just like,
Parents loved that movie.
oh yeah, that was a really good movie. But I'm just like, I honestly am stunned. Like I actually almost went to see him a couple of months ago and decided not to, and now I'm really regretting that decision.
Mm,
He died in a motorcycle accident. He's only like in his
mm,
50s. It's
mm.
just really, really sad. So pour one out for Glenn Hansard, man. Like
Did we
I
ever talk about the intersection of Glenn and Damian Rice? Like, did
no.
that ever, why didn't we ever, I
And
need to
also, what
dissect
happened
that.
to Damian Rice?
Right, because he kind of had a similar, right? Damian Rice had the woman. I'm so sad that I'm spacing on her name. I should know her name. She's in every album. But he
Yeah,
always
I don't know what
had.
happened, and I don't know what happened to him because what's interesting with Glenn Hansard is like he was still touring, like and making music and
I do
things
think
like
there
that.
might have, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it might have been like a Ryan Adams situation where maybe there was some sexual harassment stuff against Damian Rice. Don't quote me, Ryan Stoners, but now that I'm actually
Well,
thinking about it.
I mean, all things being fair, Glenn Hansard has also been accused of being a
Oh, has
groomer
he?
because of the woman in the movie once was actually 13 when they first met.
Yeah.
And then they
Okay.
started dating when she turned 18, and she was the daughter of one of his friends. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
do think that there are
Okay.
some, I
Maybe
have
there
been
were more
seeing,
overlaps than I thought.
I have been seeing mixed content today about Glenn. But that being
Not
said,
saying
no.
that there aren't any good ones, but man, are they hard to find.
No, I mean, yeah, well, Ryan Stoners, this is by no means an excuse for poor behavior, but as critics, I think I would be remiss in saying one thing I do feel like gets lost in the general discourse around these things is that like historically speaking, artists are crazy people.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
and also like sometimes really bad people. Like sometimes I just get so tired of the shock and awe over like, if you have even a little bit of an artistic bone in your body, I think you understand how art and creativity can sometimes force you into dark spaces and areas. And I'm not excusing people's bad behavior or criminality or anything like that. But um I am someone who does try to separate the art from the artist for that reason. That's more what I will say. I think it can be a very slippery slope. And we all have lines, right? Like, I mean, I think there is a threshold. Like, I'll be honest, I have not listened to R. Kelly in a decade, right? But if you start to do that, like, I think you will very quickly find it will be hard to listen or consume art that you actually find worthy of consumption. That's
this is why. Okay. Stephen
my opinion.
Sondheim finishing the hat, Jake Gyllenhaal. I sent you the video a couple of weeks ago, but that song is exact, not to say like I'm an artist, but that song speaks to me in such a deep way because that's what that song is about, right? That if I am going to be a painter who makes a hat where there never was a hat, I'm not going to be able to be a good husband, right? Like I'm not going to be able to show up in the way that song is just so it just explains the idea of being an artist so incredibly well. So yes, to your point, it's like in order for good art to be made, sometimes you don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's like you don't want to know how the sausage is made. That
I
is
just
the
think people are like detached from that lately, and I just get to me it's just like a very tiring discourse, right? Like, and especially even like as it relates to comedians, like if your whole art
oh.
form is just talking about people and finding humor in people, do you not think that sometimes you go to some weird and now again, I think we're all allowed to critique what comedians choose to then bring to the light, right? But let's be real, like a lot of what you do here brought to the light is nothing compared to what these comedians are probably saying to each other behind closed doors. And a
Oh.
lot of that informs the work that they do bring to light. I don't know. I'm just saying
Oh.
part of like art is knowing where the line is when you want to cross it, when you don't want to cross it, how to cross it. You can't really do that unless you cross it.
I was also thinking too, and we don't have to spend, but this conversation, and I do think you'll have thoughts on what I'm about to say. This conversation is a little bit just reminding me of some of the things that have been happening on TikTok this week. And one of the things that happened on TikTok this week, Rhinestoners, I'm sure you saw, was there was a man who was maybe in his 50s who was a lawyer with a I don't know, someone who I guess worked at his law firm who was in her 30s. They're sitting on a park bench in Central Park. They're making out with each other. And someone, did you see this video?
Oh, yes, that they were outed. Yes.
And one of the conversations that kind of sprung up from this that I do think it's like it goes a little bit to what you're saying in this like separating the art. We are getting to a point now where it's a little bit like, and I don't know if it's Gen Z, but it's like we're okay with like morality policing people,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, why do I care that a man is making out with people are shitty to each other all the time, every day. That's life unless this man is holding that woman captive, right? Has sexually like and things that I don't know. It's like, why do I care about his wife? I'm sorry. Maybe him and his wife are in an open relationship. And then furthermore, taking that a step deeper, I also think it's like y'all are police. You're policing.
Well,
What do you
yeah.
think you're policing?
Well, yeah,
Exactly.
now to turn this into like a conspiracy theory podcast, but like yes, and it's because that is exactly what powers that be want to happen.
Correct.
Yeah,
To get you used
yeah,
to creating,
we're all being like groomed to be surveilled all the time.
yes,
Yeah, basically.
and that it's okay.
It's Minority Report.
It is Minority Report. You're waiting for the fucking
Everything
ball to
always
drop.
comes back to Minority
It
Report.
really does.
It
Tom did
really,
it with that one. He did
I
his
mean, I'm
big one
sorry.
with Minority Report,
It
man.
is just so funny to me how so many of like the sci-fi movies we grew up with are great reference points for things, or like
Yes.
not even sci-fi. Like I went down this rabbit hole. I don't know why yesterday I was getting
Blade
served
Runner.
a lot of like disturbing, like I was almost like
Oh, kidnapped?
trafficked
Yeah.
content. And I'm
Oh
watching this one girl's like she went to Paris recently on her own. She does a birthday trip every year, solo,
my
whatever, and
God.
it was her story. And
Mhm.
like she literally like I thought the story had ended and it kept going. That's how like close she came. They were like following her beyond even like it was crazy. But we're like halfway through the video and she like I no joke goes so like one of the things I just want to say like is if you have not watched the movie Taken, you need to watch that movie. Everything that happens in that movie is very real and it is very similar to what happened to me. Actually, because I had watched that movie, I knew that that's what was happening to me in Paris, and I just was like, this is so many cultural touch points though for us. Like it really is. It's like we learned the traffic thing from Taken. Minority
Yes.
Report is our
Yes.
preparation for the
Yes.
increasing surveillance that is coming.
Yes.
Like it's so disturbing. But
I
no, I mean,
completely
look, yeah,
agree.
I definitely think that like it sure helps the government if the rest of us are like on board with surveying each other. Like, oh, now you also have to worry about that too. Like we should all be more angry about it.
No, we should be livid,
Like we
and you
should be
guys need
very
to
angry.
stop. And there is, and I do think too, reality, and as we dive into our next like conversation about reality television, I do think that this is maybe where we have desensitized, right? But we
Yes.
need to remember that these people are signing up for this. These people who go on Love Island to have sex with all of these people, they're going that in the hopes that when they come off of Love Island, they open their phones and they have 1 million followers on Instagram. So
Yeah.
this idea that like those people aren't open to critique is such a fallacy. But you know what I'm trying to say? It's like we think because there are reality stars that then open their reality up that then everyone's reality can be opened up. And it's like,
Yes.
no, no,
No.
no.
No, there is. I mean, like it kind of goes back to even some of those reality stars, like Lindsay, right? Like she lost her baby daddy because he decided ultimately it was more
Mm.
important to him to be a private citizen than it was to be with her and the mother of his child. I mean, like honestly, that is what it is. So I
And
think
he's probably not wrong.
those lines are already like being drawn. I just think that the ability to actually maintain privacy is what is going to be very challenging.
Well, I
So,
do think one thing that we don't have to get into this because it's kind of old news now, but one of the things that I do think is interesting, just kind of this is a complete tangent now about housewifery, is like I used to think, okay, here's what I'll say. We've talked a lot about how, well, when you sign up to be a housewife and you have a husband, you might be signing up for the dissolution of that relationship, right? I actually think now, though, in the news about Salt Lake City, it's almost flipped in the last maybe 7 years, where it's like, no, that's what the women want. They're like, no, okay, I need an out, I need a
I'm
paycheck.
looking for the divorce package, please.
Now, Andy, is this the 5 year divorce package or the 3 year divorce
Yeah, can I get
package?
the accelerated one? I would like to only have to do 1 to 2 years with him on
Jesus
the
Christ.
show. Yes,
It's
preferably.
insane. It's
It is
insane.
so insane. You're no, you're totally right. So, well, actually, in some ways, I think that's a good segue to the fact that since we didn't meet, we haven't really been able to talk about the fact that In the City is no more. We've concluded, we wrapped the show, we wrapped the reunion. I am sort of questioning now if there is going to be another In the
I
City.
was thinking the same.
Have you heard? Have we? I don't know if I've seen anything.
I think the clubhouse reunion says a lot.
Yes. I was sort of surprised by that. I mean, look, not trying to hate, but as someone who is an avid Bravo fan, when we see that it's going to be a clubhouse reunion, it sets the tone.
It's not a good look.
Sets the tone very quickly. It tells us a lot
Yeah,
about
about
what
the
we're in
content.
for. It tells us a lot about how Andy views the show.
Yes.
I guess we can count them lucky that they got a reunion. Some folks don't even make it to the clubhouse. So I guess there is sort of the tier, right? It's like if you're really bad, you don't even get the reunion. And then the
That's fair.
step up is reunion in the clubhouse. So okay, at
That
least
is
they got the
fair.
reunion. That tells me it's like it's on the fence.
Uh-huh. We're on the bubble.
Or
What we
maybe
used to
maybe it's
say.
like they're
What we used to
waiting.
say in sorority land, we would put girls on the bubble.
I think given the timing of it happening after Summer House, I also would not be surprised if they are waiting to see how Summer House filming goes to decide.
Well, and I
Because
want to
Summer
talk
House
about
filming is
that.
happening right now.
I do want to talk about that for a second too. So let's talk about both at the same time. I'm a little okay. KJ, 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 who had a breakdown and had to go. I'm seeing clips of him out in the club with Kyle,
Yeah.
who's now going to be 45. And I'm not judging age, right? Like, age is just a number. I'm not saying you're dead at 45. I don't want to feel that way at 45, but I'm just like, what is this now? What are these shows we're watching? I,
Well,
I don't
okay. And not only that, like there's been much talk about how the Summer House is a new Summer House this season. Have you seen the pictures? It's stunning. It's like a
gorgeous.
massive upgrade. But I will say even that for me, I mean, I know this sounds terrible because ultimately like I want them to have a nicer place, right? Like I'm not saying, oh, I want them to be in a shithole. However, like there was something like charming and kind of like, normal about the fact that yes, even though this is still a stunning home in the Hamptons, okay, they've got the thing with like the front door that doesn't open and
Yeah.
even like the
They're still
decor,
picking
we can
rooms.
see that these rooms haven't probably been updated in
Right.
some
The beds are
time.
like,
Yeah. And to your point, it's like, obviously filming is happening right now. We'll have to see, but it's like we already are getting these little hints into like what next season could potentially feel like, right? And to your point, it's like, okay, we have a cast, everyone's single. Okay, cool. I guess we're going back to how Summer House was. Got it, fine. But now you guys are like at this like impeccable, like resort like home where it's like not
Right.
even clear to me where you're throwing the parties now because it looks like it's just a massive pool. Like I'm just like,
Yes.
to your point, what is this show now? Like, and what
Yes.
is the purpose of it?
Yes.
And is it because we started out, and that's the problem with resets on any Bravo franchise. Because we started out and it was like, let's take some singles, let's show something very normal that happens. Singles sharing a summer home in the Hamptons outside of New York City. That happens all the time. Chaos will ensue, la di da di da, right? The problem is we know these people now.
Mm-hmm.
We know them very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where it's just like, what are we supposed to be invested in?
And
Is it just their dating lives? Like,
and well, not even that. But it can't, okay, taking what that a step further, it can't be their dating lives though, because that's what we're seeing on the city is
but
that
they
if
keep saying
it
everyone in Summer House is single. That's the
but
little soundbite they keep giving to
but
Jesse and
that's
all of them in their interviews to
but
say,
that's what I'm saying. Think about, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Think about West. In every other, think about West, the season in between this last season and the Sierra. He's been on for 3 seasons. So there was a season in between where he was single, right?
yeah,
We never saw Wes bring a girl back to the house. We never there were many nights where
yeah,
he would not come back to the house. And so
yeah,
that's to your point, it's like I'm even wondering that too. It's like if we're really going to get KJ dating, not that I care about KJ, but let's just take that as an example. If this summer house is going to be new house, new bars. We're partying. KJ's grabbing girls from the club, bringing girls back to do whatever. I'm in. I just don't think that they're doing that anymore. And maybe that's a safety issue too. Maybe it is like, I'm so, like, as West, right?
yeah,
Like, I'm so famous that if there's footage of me bringing a girl back to the house and then that girl says something negative happened, now there's footage of me, right? Like, I think maybe they're thinking about this a little bit more. Like, gone are the days of
yeah.
the real world where it was just, or maybe Jersey Shore is a better example of that, right? No one's doing
No,
that anymore.
I mean, even if that does happen though, I'm saying for me personally, I don't care. And here's why.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm not invested in KJ's dating history because I think it's
Yes.
so
Yes.
weird that he was like,
Yes.
in a
Yes.
serious thing and then now they're not. And like, I just like that to me, I feel bad for her. I don't like, it's okay. Putting that to the side, don't care. To your point before, I don't care about Kyle dating. Like, I'm so tired of Kyle's romantic life and like having to hear about his romantic life.
Kyle and Sally.
Obviously, Amanda and Wes are not on the show. Carl is the most awkward dater ever. I don't care about seeing single Carl. I personally feel the most detached from Jesse I've ever felt. I think he had a really rough season last season. And I will say, when Jesse first joined, I felt very invested in Jesse. It was like,
Me
oh, fresh
too.
blood. And I
The
liked the way he was kind of
cancer.
like, like just the dynamics that he was having with people,
Yes.
where he fit into the group. I don't know
Yes.
what was going on with him last season. I don't really like, he's kind of a wash to me. So I don't care about seeing Jesse date. And then there's the ultimate that I don't care about seeing her date that the Bravo universe is completely tired of, which is Lindsay. Like, the only other big person you have is someone that, like, every day I open up Insta and it's like people are just like, I'm so sick of seeing Lindsay. I am so sick of her. Get her off of my screen. So, like, what are we doing? Like, I just don't get what the show is going to be. Now,
I'm bored.
controversial opinion, this is where I actually would be more open to In the City coming back because I know people did not love In the City. I did. And I want it to come back because, first of all three of these couples are about to have babies. I want to see that shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Why
we're
not?
invested. I'm a little bit invested in each of their relationships for different reasons. They're all wildly different couples. Like, I want to see that. And I want to
I'm
see, I think I said this on a previous pod, but I want to see the circle back to the whole single mom thing and all of
yeah.
that
Mhm.
tension
Mhm.
once everyone is now dealing with kids.
Mhm.
What does
Mhm.
that do to this friend group? It's going to be a huge shift. Before, you just had these two outliers that you could kind of like, oh, the mothers. Now
Mhm.
you're all mothers. How is that? Like,
Mhm.
I actually think there's something there to
Mhm.
catch up on, if that
Yes.
makes sense. But I
Yes.
don't know why we're catching up with the Summer House people.
I agree.
I just
I
don't.
agree. I think I will say this. Right now in the world, it is interesting being between the ages of 30 and 40, like 28 and 40. That age of millennial, you know what I mean? We're all kind of going through it right now. Corporate fatigue, not really feeling like the veil has been lifted on this like thing we were sold since we were in whatever, and it's like now we're starting to realize like everyone all the way up to the top actually sucks really and like it's all corrupt.
Yeah.
And I do feel like that demographic of people are struggling in life and they're struggling on Bravo. Like
Yeah.
literally like and it's because I'm thinking about the Valley now, right? Where it's like all of these people have been met like on the Valley have been met with the reality of like, okay, this is what you chose. Here it is. Here's everything you ever wanted. You're in
Yeah.
it and you're famous. Go.
Yeah.
And none of them are happy.
You
And
would.
it's like because there's this like what is that like milieu or whatever? I'm not going to say that right. General like just like yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's like it's no wonder that they're having issues programming. We're all having issues programming.
Well, that I think is actually a great point too, of just sort of like, yeah, how do you continue to make these shows interesting when like everyone is being affected by
Right, like these
the way
people,
things
okay, like I will say this. Back in the day, if you were to have an in the city and all of these people were doing exactly what they were doing, it would be that what they would be doing is buying a house. And we'd be seeing, oh, Kyle and Amanda are buying a brownstone, and then over here, Lindsay's renovating this, and that. If I'm thinking back to early New York Housewives,
Yeah.
right, with like Alex McCord,
Yeah.
right? She's in Brooklyn, and it would be about your real estate, your portfolio. But all of these people are poor.
Yeah.
Everyone's renting.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like making cash from Bravo and spending 20 grand a month on some penthouse. And so it's like you don't get that storyline. You don't get the natural, you just get like, okay, I'm converting my closet to a nanny's room.
Well, you do on Next Gen NYC because I actually was very happy to see that they showed Ava asking her dad to send back the money that he borrowed.
Wait, hold on.
I was like, this is real shit. Now, this is the real
Wait.
stuff.
And
Okay.
that's the true tea is that that show is coming for fucking all of y'all. You don't see it,
Oh,
but
yes.
they're
That was so.
coming.
We weren't actually going to talk about Next Gen NYC, but I agree too. I kind of am like, why is this becoming like, I was already on board from the beginning,
Yeah.
anyways, but like, I actually think that that show has more interesting things. But okay, to close out on the city, like, the main thing I wanted to say is just that it's really sad to me that Amanda has decided to go out this way. Like, I think there was obviously like the consensus about her poor performance at the Summer House reunion. And then I felt like this was like sort of an opportunity to maybe redeem that in a little way. And I think she did in the sense of like, obviously, she addressed why she kind of, came off the way she did. And she also like shared that she, of course, wishes she came off better. Like, things like that are good to hear that she's not so like, unaware. But I still just feel like this is it. This is it. Like this is
No, this has to be it.
we're not going to see Amanda anymore. I feel very confident about that. And this is the end of her story and this is how it is ending with like you not even being able to share that this guy is also in love with you when you're clearly in love with him and the whole thing it just was like it was crazy to me. I'm like this is a wild trajectory and here we are arriving at the place of someone who I actually just have like a really funny connection in my head that people are not going to get, but bear with me for a second. Amanda is so much like Jax. She is someone who does not learn any lessons. Nothing ever changes with her. It's always back to the same thing again and again and again. And like to me, this is like an ultimate
And
Jax move.
victim. And
A
victim.
100%. It's like here we are now. You could have basically had an opportunity. Like Jax had multiple opportunities to turn it around, to become a good person,
He could
to
have saved
change.
his whole marriage.
And instead it was like, nope, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of like Jax vibes right now with Amanda because
That's
it's like
actually
you could
so
have
fair.
had this whole thing work out differently. You could have chosen someone else and then Kyle would have gone down, down, down. That's the thing that is like so infuriating for me on her behalf is like we continue, and especially on the In the City reunion, we continue to just hear more and more details about how awful of a human being Kyle has been, how awful of a husband he's been. The story that we got this past the last reunion episode about him, kissing the woman on the neck, like that is vile behavior. Like it is so, so, so messed up, right? And I just feel like if she had just made a different choice as related to Wes, like this could have been such a big moment of positivity for her. And she could have thrown Kyle the same bone of like, yeah, sure, we were both guilty, but then everyone would have known, look at these stories, look at the things that he's doing. And instead, she just totally like it's almost like because of the West stuff, like, yes, we're still getting the details on how Kyle is horrible, but the way that the room is perceiving it and the way the audience is perceiving it, it's like Kyle is just getting this massive pass. And I know we've talked about this on previous episodes, right? But like, he is really, it's like she just gave him this get out of jail free card. And that just really, really frustrates me.
Before there were rumors about Kyle making out with Sally out in the bars, there was a, I believe, confirmed rumor that Kyle was out making with Ava Dash. And that's where, too, to your point
Oh,
about and Nicole, the comments I saw on this TikTok, there were multiple TikToks that came out about this. It was like, I fucking love it. She's so hot. He's so hot. And I'm thinking to myself, like, have we passed him so much that we don't realize this is a 44-year-old man making out with a 24-year-old girl?
like, and I'm sorry, I know that this should not matter, and I am not trying to take like her autonomy away from her at all. She is a woman at 24 years old. However, like the other element sometimes that grosses me out about these stories, and I'm not trying to give it pass, it's gross either way. Sometimes, like when it's a 24-year-old girl who also looks a lot younger than 24, I think that's
Thank
the other
you.
hard for me too sometimes. Like Ava has a very, like, she's a gorgeous girl, but she looks like a girl.
Tiny little
Like
body.
looks like a girl still.
Tiny little
Okay.
body. Hips haven't even dropped.
I do think as she ages, she probably will take on a more
Yes.
womanly look, but like her
Yes.
vibe is very girlish. And like
Yes.
that's the other thing that just grosses me out sometimes about these connections. It's like, yes, it's the age difference, but sometimes it's like it's 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 not just this is so terrible that we even have to be splicing hairs like this, but as women, we almost have to. I guess when it comes to men dating younger women, I actually have different layers of judgment. And there's
Yeah.
and the different layers are thus. You can have two women and they're both the same age, they're both 20, 22, whatever. I am going to judge you more harshly if one of them has more of a little girl look
Yes.
because it says something about you as a man.
I agree.
It's not just
I
like
agree.
because men date younger for lots of different reasons, right? And I'm not saying that any of them are really like not gross. They're all gross reasons, but like the ones I'm more okay with when men are like, well, I just, like to have a woman who, hasn't like had as much life experience. So like I can show her, the world or I can show her something and then, she'll actually be impressed with it or, fine. But when it's like someone that looks like a little girl, then to me it's like, okay, there's a deeper,
I
grosser
see you.
physical thing happening
I
here that like
completely agree.
blocked it. Okay.
I
So
completely agree. Also, it's like,
sorry.
and Lindsay asked a question. I feel both ways. I'm like, I almost wish Lindsay didn't ask the question about why they were having sex. And then I do think that it was important that Lindsay asked the question. I don't know. I was a little like, but I do think that Amanda's response was really important. And I think to your point, even the way that she responded about are you guys in love? Um, you know, why didn't you and Kyle have sex? She still seems depressed to me. And I'm not a
Yes.
therapist, but like
Yes.
to me it does still feel like a lot of things are still weighing very heavy on Amanda. And so
Yeah.
to your point just about like that she could have played this differently, I also just think my judgment is it's also just not you're not ready. Like you're just also just not ready.
But that's the
And
thing. Like she just shouldn't have been jumping into another relationship.
this is gonna hurt you so much. Now the hurt is gonna be compounded by two men
100%.
leaving.
It's just hard to watch. It's like I know a lot of people are just fully like F her, she deserves it, blah 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 blah. But like I'm always gonna find it hard to watch women in vulnerable situations. And like, yes, did she bring a lot of it on herself? Sure. But like she needs help, she needs support. not from the places she's getting it. Outside of that though, I don't really feel like it was like that interesting of a reunion. Like that's why I brought up the Amanda stuff. Like to me, those were the more interesting bits. I really don't care about all of their little drama, and most of it feels like it was resolved anyways by the end. Um, so yes. But that being said, I am curious for when the babies come. So bravo, we can pick back up, and I would love to see
I
that.
also will say one of the things, last thing, realizing that Danielle's baby was supposed to be like born not even yet, like
Yeah.
that's I all prayers and like whatever to Danielle and
Well,
hers
I
because
had
that's
the same
insane.
reaction out loud because I had already seen all of her photos and updates, but then when she said her due date specifically, that was the part where I was like, oh, that put into perspective even more the photos and all of that because I was like, wow,
I
this is
couldn't imagine.
very, very, very early.
Every day is probably, you know, you're waking up with a little bit of like,
Yeah,
so
no. I mean, it's
couldn't
awful.
imagine.
We also saw the end, or not the end, but we wrapped the Valley this week, which I actually did really like this season. I feel like I don't know. I feel like we're starting to get some
You
fun.
are such a sucker for the Valley. You've
I
always liked the
know.
Valley.
I don't know what it is. I just like I think because it's just so different from anything else I watch, and because I do feel like to your point about everyone in the city being broke, everyone in the valley is also broke, and it's
They
fun.
are.
Like it's just
They're at
fun.
Chili's.
I mean, thank you,
No
thank you.
sponsor.
Exactly. I was like, I'm watching that. I'm like, what is going on, guys? Like, we are watching a Bravo show where they have gone to Chili's. Like this is so real. Okay? Like I'm sorry. And even the Halloween party, like don't get me wrong, Brittany did an amazing job. It was so beautiful, okay? But I'm gonna sound like such a bee when I say this. I'm such a snob. I live here in New York. But like when they were walking in and Luke was like, "Oh, fog machine, that's cool." I was like, these people need to get out more. Like just like that, like just the level of excitement about the fog machine. Like, and it was such a small moment. You probably didn't even catch it. It was like as they
Oh
were
my
all
God.
strolling in, like they were behind Nia and Danny, and Luke's like, fog machine, wow, cool. I'm like, oh my God. I just like to me, it's refreshing. Okay. I think that again, everything that we are confronted with is so aspirational, right?
Yeah.
Like everything, even most
Yeah.
of the Real Housewives, there is something to be said for watching a show where you're like, I don't want to be any of these people.
This was the
Like
whole premise of Vanderpump Rules.
that's what I'm
Because at
saying.
the
Like
end of the
I think
day,
we all need that in our lives, okay?
you didn't want to be Sheena.
I
No
don't
one
need to
wanted
be
to be a
confronted with
server.
more people that have second homes and lives that I'm never going to have. I want to be confronted with normies fighting it out, like you said earlier, who are the victim of their own decisions, okay? Like, and life choices,
And mad about it.
and are
And
mad
so pissed off about
and
it.
are unhappy, wishing they could rewrite history. That's what I want to see, okay? And yet
The
somehow they're all
history they
stuck
penned.
together, still in this mess of a divorce separation soup. That's what I want to see,
Oh
okay?
no, it's
So
so
yes,
bad.
and
The doctor goes, Lacey, we could make embryos. Lacey says, shut your
no,
fucking mouth when you're talking to me.
how dare you? Do you see this man? Do you see this
What?
man sitting next to me?
Him?
You think I want to make embryos with him?
He doesn't even get to come in the condom.
Doctor, I'm sorry. Have you watched the first season?
He does make cute babies, though. I don't know how much. I think a lot of that is Michelle.
Is it?
I don't know.
I think Isabella has Jesse's face.
She has Michelle's hair, and
Yes,
that's what makes
but
you
that's it.
think
No,
it's
but her
Michelle.
face is just Jesse's face.
It's so fair. That is such a read because the hair is
Well,
deceiving.
I mean, to be
Beautiful little
fair,
girl.
I suffer from the same plight. All eldest daughters look like fathers. I think they say it's like the old that that's biology's way or whatever. I enjoy that their challenges are relatable. right? And I think some of the things that happens in the prime are relatable. So anyway, so we had the final episode. I would say the big thing was probably mostly the Halloween party. Um, it was interesting seeing Jessie confront Michelle about her dating situation, which now I have an interesting take on that.
Yeah.
That I do feel bad for Michelle. I believe Michelle actually in this situation. I think that like she was probably working. He met her. This is what I think to happen. I think she's telling the truth that Isabella met him because she was selling him a house. I think that they then started dating. I think that Jesse found out they were dating and probably said to Isabella, "Have you seen this guy?" That's what I think happened. And then she said, "Yes, I have." And it was because she met him that one time at
That's so fair.
I do believe Michelle, like that's where I think Michelle was getting so frustrated right away because I think she felt like
Yes.
she was being accused of something she really wasn't doing.
And you can't help that, by the way.
That being said, I also think that Michelle needs to develop a little bit of a sensitivity to the fact that Jesse cares enough to be saying those things,
Yeah.
right? And we're not going to talk about Orange County, but there's a new Real Housewife over there with some interesting, marital structure and custody structure and things like that. And I think that like if I were Michelle, I would be happy at the very least that Jesse feels so strongly about who Isabella is in front of. And I don't think we should be faulting Jesse as a father for wanting to limit the grown men that enter into Isabella's life. And I think the thing that is unfortunate for Michelle that she has to understand too is that it is different because it's a daughter. And a lot of people will be like, oh, that's such a sexist take, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not. Like, Jesse has every right. And I'm sorry, we should be concerned for our sons too.
Of course.
Horrible things happen to
Of
children of both
course.
sexes. Okay. It's not to say, but I think especially for a young
Statistically,
girl, Jesse has every right to be concerned about that. He has every right
100%.
to want to know what men are coming around his daughter. I think
100%.
if it was a little boy, maybe he would not be as worked up about this. But like, I do think that's his right as a father. And so
If your daddy isn't going to protect you, who is? It's his one
100%.
job.
And like looking like she'll look at that scene and not see anything wrong years later. Like, so what? You were concerned about who
Thank
mom was
you.
bringing around for me to
Thank
meet.
you.
Like,
Thank you.
and
That's
I'm just,
actually going to be an arrow in his quiver later when he's like, if Michelle does go off the rails with Dr. Dre, right? Then he
I
can
just
say,
think
look
like,
at me.
I definitely understand why like Jesse has gotten a bad rep, and I'm not discounting a lot of like the terrible things that he's done. That being said, where I do feel somewhat differently about him versus some of the other people whose character is being called into question, I do think Jesse really loves Isabella. And I do think he, at his core, is a decent person for the most part. So I feel like that's where it's kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, we need to give him a little bit more credit sometimes for taking an interest in these matters because he could
Well,
be totally hands off and be like, go for it, Michelle. You can date a whole football team. I don't care. Isabella can meet every single one of them. I'm doing my own thing. I'm over here with Lacey. I don't care anymore. Like he could have that attitude. So I think we just have to.
and I will say, like, on a bigger, like, zooming out, because I'm going to make a comment about, like, us. This is why I do think that this is a good, like, I love talking to you because you can see things from all of those nuanced areas and qualify different things,
Yeah,
and this is like the experience of being online as like you post more viral clips, you realize so many people, one, there's rage baiters who just want to say like
totally.
very, but
Yeah.
there's just also, you can tell that generationally or culturally, there's a lot of people who can't do that anymore, who
Yeah.
think that it's about taking sides and this person sucks and we must kill and
Yeah.
Amanda must die and Kyle is right. And it's like, no, you guys, like there's so much nuance. And that's what's fun about
Yes.
watching these shows is being able to come at them from that human level. It's not about like, okay, I'm about Kyle and I'm gonna go get my Kyle merch. It's just
Well, it's also nuanced too. I think like yes, and I think the one thing that is a thread throughout a lot of our conversations about this stuff too, though, is particularly having a little bit of a different sensitivity around the men on these shows and their actions and how they show up and things like that. Because
yeah.
we 100% see really poor behavior sometimes from these men. But I also think something that I don't enjoy is there is also this aspect as well of like the men are always wrong
Mm-hmm.
in every situation, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that is a common Bravo, like doesn't matter what franchise we're talking about. There is this sense, obviously, because a lot of it is driven by women, of like they were in the wrong, they're wrong. And it's not just when it's like group stuff that happens, right? We see it within their marriages too, right? Like
Yep.
there's no way that the thing the husband could be saying, and
Right.
we actually like I am going to talk about Orange County again because I'm reluctantly watching it, but Jen who's still been dating this like I don't know. We don't know if he's really a criminal or not. But anyways,
The jury is the jury. He doesn't know if he's a criminal or not, I think is
I
what it is.
actually think that he's a decent human being as
He
well.
just
And
loves
there was
Vegas.
a very interesting scene last night where they were talking about Jen's son who's not been doing well and
He's lighting LA on fire
he was
and
saying
driving through it.
I actually think this was a different son. It might have been. But he was basically saying to Jen, like, I think it's because his father is never around and he has no presence or anything from his father. And Jen lost it on him because she took it as like an attack towards her for like something she's not doing or like
Oh,
because she
deficiency.
carries a lot of guilt, I think, about the fact that she initiated the divorce, all of that.
Okay.
So she completely like blows up on him about this.
Mm.
Cut to 15 minutes later, Jen sits down with her son, tries to unpack what's going on with him, keeps asking him, what's wrong? What's wrong? Dad's never around. Ta-da! Your partner was right. Like he
Whoopsies.
literally, you know. So I think that's the nuance you and I try to bring to it. And especially with the shows like The Valley and In the City where you have both men and women, like I just think we need to like sometimes women are so reluctant to ever say that a man could be right. And I find that so annoying. Like trust me, it's not often that they're right, but it
Yeah.
happens sometimes. And in those times, why are we as women so like, I don't know, like just
Well,
it's like
and men are
makes it
going it
hard to like
men
acknowledge it. Who cares?
and we've said this before, or maybe you said this before too. Men are going to have the reactions of a man, not the reactions of a woman. And that's
Everything
why
is
it's a
processed
man
different.
and not a woman.
I just
This is like either you believe that or you don't, like either you believe that there is a difference in gender or you don't.
and first of all, I don't want my man or men around me to process things like women because then I would not need them around anymore. Like
That's
then
what I'm
why are
saying.
you here? Like
Then there's no difference.
now we're stripping away the things about you that make you what you are to me,
That's
right?
it's just
Now I'm just a lesbian. Like
that's
I
what I'm
don't
saying. It's like you either like men or you don't like men. You
but
can't
see,
be with men and not
and
like men.
this rhinestoners, you should 100% clip this out because we will get so much rage bait for this because the predominant conversation right now is like men just don't like women, which I do believe. I think that is true, but I think there are
Well,
a lot of women that also don't really like men. Let's be real. It goes both ways,
it
okay?
does.
It goes both ways.
It does.
It manifests itself in different ways, right? Like, yes, it's very obvious a lot of men do not take an interest in women's lives. They don't care about us and our needs and all of that. And like, it's very easy to identify those are men that don't really like women. How it shows up for women though, it's more in this way. It's like they can't ever be right. There can't ever be sound logic behind what they're saying. Surely I'm the one that's right because I'm the woman. Like you can't ever see the
Because
other
they're
side.
because you know what? Men are visual creatures. And that's another thing too. Like we've dumbed them down to like, you're just a reptile. And it's like, well, I think there might be a little bit more to it than that.
Maybe.
Like,
Maybe. Well, and also
I
too,
don't
like,
know.
the whole like, oh, men are behind, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure, okay. But they're not gonna get caught up if we keep telling them how dumb they are all the time.
Well, also, okay, can I just say this really fast? And this is like on a completely different tangent. There's that guy, he plays for the Bengals. He's the quarterback. He dates this girl, Olivia Ponton.
Mm.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. And then we can end it on this. Oh, Joe Burrow. Fucking
Oh,
Joe
yes.
Burrow.
Okay, yeah.
Joe Burrow has been dating this woman, Olivia, woman, she's a woman, for a while, right? And he doesn't walk with her. And like there was another video that came out today. She's walking, she's like 5 steps behind her, and everyone's like, this guy, whatever. And I'm just thinking to myself, again, she's walking behind, she's there, she's exactly where she wants to be. In what world is Joe Burrow what? Keeping this woman captive? If she's walking behind him, that's because that's the arrangement that they have, and she's obviously happy to be there. No, why are we villainizing if this is what she wants? Again, like I don't know. I don't know why she walks 5 paces behind him. I
Maybe
don't
it's for
know.
security reason.
Maybe there's a security reason. Maybe his security, you always have to have one in front, one in between, and one
But
behind. I
even
don't
if it
know.
is because he's some piece of shit who, then it's not your relationship. So why do you
You,
care? It's not your standard. It's not your, like,
it doesn't make him a dark and evil being, right? Like I think that that's we're getting a little too it's the lawyers in the Central Park that I was talking about. It's like, hold on, back up. Why are we policing every nuance of everything, right?
Well,
Like
and this is actually a very interesting kind of segue, though, quickly to the Danny and the Nia and the Lala of it
mm,
all, because I did appreciate this episode, Lala saying to Janet, I think you just need to let this go. He's not your problem. And what I think, like, what was nice to hear about that is, like, again, lots of things can be true. Okay. I think Danny was inappropriate. I do believe he made Jasmine feel weird. I do believe that he struggles probably with his behavior and all of that. But like the people that have been coming for him have nothing to do with any of that. They
no,
have not been personally affected by it. They have
no,
not been there to witness it. And so
no,
like, why is it your problem? And I think
exactly.
that has long been my issue with Janet. It's just like,
Yes.
leave it alone.
Leave it
Okay.
alone.
Like you have trauma. I'm sorry for that. What does it have to do with him? Like, just
Yes.
like, let's just start separating a little,
Yes.
it's just,
Yes.
it goes back to the beginning of your comment. There's a lack of nuance in the world and an ability to see nuance and to critique it and to look at the full picture. I think that Danny and Nia definitely probably have some work to do in their
Yeah.
marriage. I think that
Yeah.
that is very, 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 very obvious. I
Oh yeah.
think that at the end of the day, though, like, I take issue with the fact that, like, we are all collectively supposed to root for the demise of a four-child household. I'm not
That's
going
the
to do it.
thing.
Not going to do it,
That's the
people.
thing.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm
What do you
literally
want me
not
to
going to do it.
say?
Oh,
Leave
and
her or
to
leave
bring
him?
to bring it full circle, because actually I do think you should watch this episode if you didn't see it. In the conversation that Jen on Orange County had with her son, okay, it was so devastating because as they got further into the conversation, she basically realizes that, like, she's been thinking that they've gotten past this divorce. These kids are teenagers now. She's been thinking in her head, these boys are teenagers. I'm about to send them off into the world. Everything's fine. And he's sitting there and telling her after all of these years, nothing is fine. He said that the fact that my dad is not here impacts my life every single day.
That's
That's what he said
so
to her
freaking sad.
every day.
That's
Okay.
so
And again, I am never going to advocate for people staying in unhappy relationships or being in marriages that are bad for them. But I will stand up for, let's not be rooting for the demise of people's marriages. That's where I can't get on
absolutely.
board with the Danny and Nia thing. Like, you can
Yeah.
critique it, you can call it out, you can say it's not for you and it wouldn't want to be your marriage. But to keep kind of saying, like, she should leave him, blah, 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 that is not really any of our business. Like,
Mm-mm.
and we've talked about that with Nia. Like, Nia, as you just said, Nia is exactly where Nia wants to be.
Exactly where she wants to be.
She prayed for this. She literally
She
sat there across from Lala
got on her
and said, I
knees.
prayed for this, Lala. I manifested this. I wanted this life. Okay. And so, and I think Lala got it. Lala was like, well, shit, I guess I have to just deal with it.
I do like that about Lala though.
Yes. That is that, but that is the only reason why I can continue to tolerate Lala at
You
all
can
is that
talk sense to
she's at
her.
least rational.
You can meet her on a level where she can understand you.
Yes. Especially
It's
like
the
when she
yeah.
wants to be.
And it's the and you know why? It's the Lala she was built up and knocked down.
Yes.
It's having to be humble.
I also think too that, like, when we first got introduced to Lala on Vanderpump and over the years as she's continued to share things about her family and all of that, I do think that Lala was different than the rest of the cast and that she was sort of raised right, if that makes sense. Like
I
Jax and Tom and
completely
all of
agree.
them, they all
Look
kind
at
of at some
James's
point
mom.
Yeah, they all at some point went into their family history. And I always
Hmm.
had a sense from Lala of like, oh, Lala had people in her life that were
Dad
actually
and
like
mom.
teaching her right from wrong. And I
Yes,
do think that's the difference in how she is now. Like
I
she just,
completely agree.
there's a different foundation that was placed
I
there.
completely agree. And I will say, when she started to spin out, it was when her dad died. So even more to your point. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like there's literally a correlation to that.
Now,
So
before we wrap, I do want to ask your thoughts on Kristen Doty just blatantly lying
what the
about
fuck is
that. The
she
fact
doing? What is she
I'm
doing?
sorry. Like honestly, I'm kind of not mad at it. Like I think I don't I was trying to think like, am I coming clean in that situation? Probably not. I'm probably just gonna wait until we can have the conversation again later. But I was like, Kristen, come on. And like she was doing such a bad job of it too. Like I would have gone with I don't remember that. The fact that she tried to say that Britney said it, I was like, oh my,
Now,
oh
Kristen.
shit.
Now, Kristen. No, she's funny. You know what the thing is, though? A little bit, like I will say. Kristen's a liar. Like, Kristen is, like,
Yeah.
she is.
Yeah.
Like, she is,
So
like,
she's
she,
definitely playing both sides. I don't think because
like,
I think she doesn't care.
yeah. And even just going back to Vanderpump Rules, like, she, I mean, she looked so many people dead in their eyes and said, "You think I would ever have sex with Jax? Like, what
Yeah,
are you even saying?" Right? Like, she's really good at it, too. There is that dark side of her.
a hundred
That
percent. I mean, I'm giving Kristen a pass for this season because she's postpartum, and I think that she's probably kind of like, you know, saying things in one moment and then later on being like, oh, I shouldn't
maybe,
have said that. I
maybe
think
forgetting.
I think she has baby brain, so I'm giving her a pass for that.
And that
But
is a real thing. That
it is,
really
it's
is
just,
real.
it's more funny than anything that she's so blatantly trying to be like, I didn't say that. I'm like, girl, we just,
We
the footage is gonna
the cameras are
not gonna
rolling
bode
this.
well for you in a few weeks, okay? Like we're gonna be able to figure this one out.
Hey, you know
Uh,
what I was thinking though? A goal for next week could be, if you're interested,
yeah.
maybe we watch the first two episodes of the Stassi thing.
Oh yeah, I'm down for that.
Just to see. I think
Let's
it's already out and all loaded, so I think you could burn the whole thing if you wanted to, but I was
yeah,
thinking at least the goal should be by next week. We've consumed two and we have some sort of thoughts.
let's do
Even
it.
if they're that we don't want to watch three and four, you know?
Yeah, I am totally down. That sounds like a good idea. Well,
Sis.
rhinestoners, we are back. It's good to be back, and we're gonna be more consistent. We
Yes,
gotta
we are.
figure it out. But we'll see everyone next week.
I love you, sis.
Love you too.
Have such a good
Bye.
weekend.